What if the worst heartbreak of your life was actually the best thing that ever happened to you? What if every failure, every rejection, every night you cried yourself to sleep was secretly building the strongest, most confident version of you? Today we're going to talk about exactly how to turn pain into power. And I promise you'll leave this episode feeling stronger than when you started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Life English Talk. I'm Julia, your host, and this is your cozy space to practice natural English while we talk about real life, the good days, the hard days, and everything in between. Today is all about heartbreak and failure, and how both of them can become your biggest teachers if you let them. Don't worry, this is not going to be a sad episode. This is going to be an empowering one. So, heartbreak, rejection, that moment your stomach drops because something you really wanted didn't work out. We've all been there, haven't we? A couple of years ago, I had my heart completely broken. Like, I thought, okay, this is it. I'm never going to feel okay again. I was dramatic. I was crying in the supermarket over the stupidest things. I was texting my friends at 2 a.m. asking, "What will I do now?" Yeah, not my finest moment. But you know what? Looking back, that messy, horrible time was also the moment I actually started to change my life for real. The only time I personally have ever evolved in life was when I went through heartbreak, failures, rejections. I know in my heart that if I wouldn't have gone through these things, I wouldn't be the Julia that I am today. But because I went through these hardships, I can now understand better who I am, and that's why I decided to do this episode today. To be honest, at the time, I really needed someone to talk to me the way I am talking to you right now. But first thing, if you're right in the middle of it, can I just give you a big virtual hug? Because I know it hurts, and it's allowed to hurt. You don't have to pretend you're fine. The important first step that helped me a ton was just letting myself be a total mess for a little while. Cry in the shower, scream into a pillow, write 10 pages of angry nonsense in my notebook, and then rip them up. It's actually really healthy to let that stuff come out, instead of keeping it inside and turning bitter. I need you to let yourself feel every single emotion deeply. These emotions are not bad. They need to come out, and they will eventually, but in the wrong way if you suppress them. You need to be willing to deal with them and accept that it is okay to feel sad, angry, frustrated. You need to make sure that all of your emotions are out of your system. After you let it all out, if you can, try to get some answers. Just one real conversation with yourself or with that person. Hey, what actually happened here? Sometimes the truth stings like hell, but knowing is so much better than living in your head, making up stories. In order for us to heal and start that healing journey, we need to be able to focus on the healing. We have to let go of endlessly asking ourselves, what could I have done better? It doesn't bring clarity. It fogs our thinking and drains our focus. And if they ghost you or keep dodging, friend, that's your answer. That silence is telling you everything you need to know. And that's when you give yourself permission to walk away. Heartbreak feels so huge because, get this, your brain treats the loss of romantic love a bit like withdrawal from something addictive. Memories of the good times? They're like little hits that keep the craving alive. That's why scrolling their socials or replaying old messages feels so tempting, but also so painful. But here's what shifted everything for me. Realizing that my mind was kind of tricking me. It was telling me the pain had to be this huge mystery because the feelings were so intense. But most of the time, the reason is actually pretty simple. They just weren't in love anymore. Or the timing was off. Or it wasn't right. And our brain hates simple. It wants a movie-level explanation. So, just accept the explanation you have. Or make one that's kind enough to let you close the door. Put that question to rest. No more detective work. Because searching for more answers just feeds the pain. And if hope keeps whispering, maybe they'll come back? Hope can be really destructive when your heart is broken. It keeps the healing door cracked open and stops you from moving forward. I think that another important step is also to stop idealizing what you lost. Very often we remember only the good parts and forget the bad. Especially when we are sad, we tend to amplify the positive in the relationships, but there must have been negatives too. So I want you to really look at the situation rationally. Look at your relationship from an outside perspective. Remind yourself of what needs they failed to meet. Like, remind yourself, what are the things that you wanted and needed from the other person and you were actually not getting? Now, let's bring failure into the chat too, because it works in a similar way. When you fail at something big, a job, a project, a dream, your brain can do the same thing as with heartbreak. It idealizes what you lost, makes you think, I'll never get another chance like that. Or, I'm just not good enough. Failure feels personal, doesn't it? Like it says something about your worth. But seriously, failure isn't proof you're broken. It's just proof that the path you tried didn't work. Yet. And just like heartbreak, it creates voids in your confidence, in your routine, in how you see yourself. But, okay. Let's not only talk about negatives. Let's talk about the good stuff that comes after. Here's what I learned. When someone leaves, or when a big dream falls apart, it hurts. But it also shows you exactly where you were settling, where you were pretending things were okay when they weren't. So now you get to choose better. Better people, better boundaries, better dreams that actually fit the real you. The best revenge, and I'm not even joking, is you waking up one day and realizing you haven't thought about them in weeks. Because you're focused on being happy and following the path you've discovered is truly yours. That's the one that really hits. So, the big mindset shift? Treat both heartbreak and failure like a fight, and your reason is your strongest weapon. You don't just wait to heal. You fight back by filling those voids on purpose. We all go through ups and downs, But that's life. What makes a person successful is that they don't quit. What makes a person unsuccessful is that after the first failure or heartbreak, they're like, I'm done. I will never find love again. I will never try again. If you want to get what you desire, you need to always keep doing, keep going, keep feeling. So here it is. For heartbreak, try to rebuild your identity. Who am I when I'm not us? Rebuild your social life, the friends you drifted from, the activities you loved and stopped doing. And make sure that person has no starring role in your future story. For failure, try to look at what you learned, what you can do differently, and start filling your days with small wins that remind you you're capable. New skills, new tries, new people. And be patient with yourself. Some days you'll feel strong. Some days a song or a word will knock you back. That's okay. You're resilient. Resilient. Say it with me once. Resilient. You're already proving it by being here, wanting to grow. Can we do one tiny little friend moment together? Look at yourself, or just imagine me looking at you with the biggest smile. And say this with me, nice and slow. I'm allowed to feel better. One more time, like you really mean it. I'm allowed to feel better. Yeah, you are. Little things that helped me climb out. Long walks with music that makes me feel strong. Cooking something yummy just for me. Texting friends dumb memes at midnight. Buying myself flowers just because. Telling myself in the mirror, hey, you're actually doing okay, you know? The version of you on the other side of this is kinder, wiser. They know exactly what they will and won't accept anymore. They're tougher in the best way, strong without being hardened. And that version, it already lives inside you, just waiting for you to stop being so hard on yourself so it can finally come out and play. Please remember this. You did not waste your time. You learned more in that chapter than some people learn in a lifetime. So your little homework from your friend Julia this week? Nothing huge, promise. Do one thing that fills a tiny void. Call a friend you miss. Try a new hobby. Treat yourself to something nice. Write down one thing you learned from this hard season, even if it's just, I'm stronger than I thought. Look at yourself tomorrow morning and say, I've got you. Like you're talking to your best friend. Because you are. When the sad thoughts come, whisper, I'm fighting for me now. I'm so proud of you for still showing up, even when it's hard. Seriously, thank you for hanging out with me today. If something here made your heart feel a little less heavy, drop me a comment and tell me. What's one small thing you're going to do for yourself this week? I read every single one, and I'll be cheering you on. This is your friend Julia, sending you the biggest, warmest hug through the screen. You've got this. Truly. And I'll see you next time for more real-life chats. Talk soon. Bye-bye.